there's a missed opportunity for us to bring a better impact on the ground. Yes, overall I think Canada stepped back. I hear it when I go and I interact with West Africans, for sure, and they really missed the 80s and the 90s where Canada was strongly present and CETA was more present.
So that's John Vavrick. He's with the Canadian Mining Institute.
Well, what about the government response to this?
Well, the agency still has to manage this cut. They have very few details. They say they have ended direct funding to governments in several African countries because they feel that there was no accountability for that money. It would just go over there and end up in a pot. They want to move into funding already established aid organizations on the ground in the regions. And again, these are very difficult times financially for Canada. Although if you look at the British example, that economy is struggling as well, and yet they've renewed their commitment. In fact, they've increased their commitment in foreign aid. The Conservative government has already said that for a few years now they're moving from Africa to Latin America. Some think this is pure politics. The Liberals had focused on Africa. The Conservatives want to disassociate themselves from anything to do with the Liberals. But people like Jean Vavrick with the mining industry say that the industry itself, the mining industry, has to do a better job demystifying Africa for Canadians so that Canadians see the true potential, the true value for Canadians in that investment.
Well, Amanda, thank you very much for this.
You're welcome.
And that is Amanda Fessa, a reporter in the national capital, Ottawa. Coming up, a major conference on the polar regions of this Earth.
And you're listening to The Link on Radio Canada International and CBC Radio 1.
Well, over 2,000 scientists from around the world will come together at the International Polar Year 2012 conference, which is being held in Montreal next week. And they're gathering here to discuss the challenges facing the Arctic and the Antarctic. Our planet's polar regions are going through rapid change that is expected to have a dramatic effect not only on circumpolar countries like Canada, but also globally. The Montreal Conference is expected to be one of the largest and most important scientific conferences for the polar sciences and climate change impacts and adaptation. Peter Harrison is chairman of the 2012 IPY Conference, International Polar Year, and he's also a professor at the Stauffer Dunning Chair and director of the School of Policy Studies at Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario. And Peter Harrison, thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Bob. Thanks for having me.
Let's start with a bit of history, first of all. The International Polar Year, probably many people don't know how far back this type of conference and situation goes.
Well, it's interesting. The latest International Polar Year was 2007 to 2008. The first one was in 1882.
My goodness.
And then, it's really fascinating, the history. This goes back to an Austrian gentleman scientist, military man called Karl Bateman, who around Europe said it's time that we had a scientific look at what's happening in the polar region. Then, of course, the Arctic, because the Antarctic was not accessible. And so began this attempt to really focus on what is happening. There have been 4 international polar years. The first one was very much focused on exploration. It was also sad. The Greely expedition, for example, was part of that, and they ran into major difficulties and a number of deaths.